One of the biggest secrets to my success in optometry was that I discovered I had a knack for marketing. I didn't even know what marketing was. I was a science and math track all the way through school. I realized that how important it was to do marketing, and most of that, was external. And it got to a point where I realized we needed to do some internal marketing as well. And the first thing on the list for internal marketing is to have a space that makes people want to shop. And then I started learning more about the internal marketing. I started learning the importance of your brand and how your image on outside of the practice has to mirror the image inside of the practice. There's nothing more disturbing for a patient looking at a website and seeing a beautiful practice and walking into a place that's paneled with shag carpet on the floor. That's a total a disconnect immediately. And that might translate into less profits, into less trust. Another thing to think about is when we talk about timelines is living in the present. And when I say living in the present, I'm talking about having a nice practice, a place to work, a place to walk into, instead of waiting. And someone made me think about my house, where when we first bought our house, we had little kids. It was 5 or 6 years before we finished the basement. And after we finished it was the best thing we ever did. Even though it was expensive, it was a great investment in our house. And now our house is going, if we ever sold it, that would go towards the value. Well, the same thing in your practice. You're going to walk into a practice that you're proud of every day, that you're able to utilize as it's your second home. You're except your house, you're probably you may be even in your practice more than you're at your own house. So why not make it look beautiful? And why not make it look good when at the same time you're investing in its value? And that's a really important point. Don't wait to do this. This is something that drives value. This makes your place a more pleasant place to work, and ultimately will help with your value when you sell. When it comes to your concepts and thoughts about what you want for your practice, people have different wants. People with solo practices may want to differentiate themselves and look very different than outside of that cookie cutter kind of look that maybe some chains have. And other people who have multiple practices may want to brand it all under the same look. And it's all there for you to choose as you see fit. You may go in there and be convinced that maybe there's something else you want you didn't even know about existed, because iDesign stays on top of the changes and the options in the design industry and applies them to the optometric field. There's no one that comes close to iDesigns when it comes to understanding the options and the needs of optometrists and when it comes to design.